We're Marcel and Wendy. For the last 6 years, we have lived mostly nomadic lives, living and traveling in 3 self-built vans on 3 different continents. After just starting our biggest journey ever, we were forced to abandon it for the second time and fly back to Australia.
So it's been over a month since we last picked up the camera. The reason why we came back to Australia is because my mum got really sick. She ended up passing away after a really long illness that she'd been fighting for so long. I'm so grateful that we ended up coming back to Australia for her final weeks. We really got to spend all the time we needed with her, which was really grateful. Now that we've had some time to process the whole thing, we are finally going back to Chile. With this whole trip has just been a colossal shitstorm of things that have gone wrong. We were supposed to go back last week. We had a flight booked. We had to cancel again last minute because the brand new radiator that we had installed in the van was leaking. So this is the new radiator we're bringing to Chile from Australia. So we are just making sure it is going to get there in one piece. This is third time lucky getting to Santiago and starting our South America trip. I can't believe we nearly just had the world's biggest heart attack again when they asked me if my visa was still current, and because it said that it wasn't. The lady had to go and take the paper away to make sure, and in that time we nearly had like a little heart attack. I was like, we're done, I'm not going back here again. But now we're about to board the plane. We made it to Chile. They let me in with 1 day left on my visa.
Didn't say a thing.
The radiator has made it.
Arrived.
So we're ticking 2 of the 3 boxes.
Yeah.
We just need the radiator in and everything to be working.
So just nothing.
So
welcome in Chile.
For the 3rd time.
For a time.
Oh my god. We made it back to the van. Very welcoming first night back in Chile. We're sleeping in the mechanical garage. We got here at like 1, they put all the new radiator in, it's working fine now. I'm just trying to figure out why we destroyed a whole radiator in 3 weeks through a chemical process called electrolysis. It seems to have fixed itself, but I'd really like to know why it's fixed itself so it doesn't happen again. So we're gonna stay here tonight, have a look tomorrow, get some paperwork sorted, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, we start heading down south. So every 6 months in Chile, you need to go and get your car inspected at a place called Revision Technica. And there's this cool little trick. If you know someone and you don't think your vehicle will pass, you can leave some money underneath the floor mat and it'll just magically pass. We had a bit of a chip in our windscreen, so just to be safe, we took the bit of a sneaky road.
We got it. We just got our van back. Let's see if the trick can work. Magic. We passed.
Oh my god. This is our first day on the road. We've left Santiago and we're driving south, but it is a hot one. It is like 35 degrees and we do not have air conditioning. We've just been cooling ourselves down. We've got a little water bottle that we just spray ourselves with, and then we've got a little fan inside. It kind of condenses and cools us down. But oh my god, I'm sweating just sitting here talking. The other fun thing is I just broke my main filming lens, but we haven't broken the van yet, and that is the main thing. So this is how we're cooling down at the moment because it's so hot. First day again, we left Santiago. We just stopped off at a truck station to have a shower. We're going to sleep here tonight and hopefully head further down south tomorrow. Just got to watch out for these bushfires that are kind of causing concern.
Deadly wildfires are ravaging Chile.
Chile has declared a state of disaster.
Scenes of devastation in Chile.
It is one of the country's worst natural disasters.
It's just a small grass fire and it's just like popped up because it's so hot. So the crazy thing is, this is about as far as we got in December when we had to fly home urgently. Everything was really clear back then, but now these bushfires have come in and you can't see anything. There's like a mountain range there you can just see. Behind me here is actually the Andes, which you cannot see anymore at all.
And also, it's the craziest wildfires in history of Chile. 310 fires burning at the moment.
And we're driving straight towards it.
Yeah, through it. It's our second night and we're fixing the van already. Bloody disaster. Oh, we're also in the area where there are pretty bad fires. I don't know if you can see it. It's like very hazy. You can actually smell smoke. You can see like it's pretty hazy. Marcel is working on
We had a cracked radiator hose, as you can see. That was leaking and it was dripping a little bit of coolant, and I'm just going to cut it and join it back on because I don't have a replacement. And just like that, it's fixed again. We'll buy another one just to be safe. So this is day 3 now, and I can't believe it, but I was just doing a daily check on the van and I noticed that the alternator mounting bracket was actually loose and the bolt was loose. I don't know how that even happens. I've just gone and tightened it up now, but it's a bit of a scare when these things keep happening. What have we got ourselves into? It's crazy how many breakdowns we've already had, and it's been 2.5 days. Do you think the van needs a wash?
maybe.
This is what sitting in Santiago does to your van. Ugh.
We actually arrived after 2 days on highway, sleeping on a highway. We arrived to our first destination. So we're gonna go and see this waterfall.
4 or 5 months we've been in Chile. We haven't seen a single thing except for right now.
So let's go and see it. Very touristy, but it's a water falling from the rock. Waterfall, another waterfall, and I don't really mind. I'm going for a swim right now because it's like 36 degrees and there are like fires raging everywhere around us, so I don't really care. We just find this really nice, cute campsite.
This is the very first time we haven't slept in the streets of Santiago or at a petrol station on the highway, which is like impossible to sleep because it's just trucks coming and going all
And the whole
night.
van is like shaking.
So this is very nice. The wildfires have already come through here. You can see it's already burnt on the other side. The whole highway on the way here was all burnt down. So I think we're going to be safe. I was wondering why we weren't getting any solar power, and I thought I'd just take a look up onto the roof here. I think I found the culprit. And that's just from sitting in the Santiago city. It's so filthy. It's just dust. I'm pretty sure it's probably got heaps of like bushfire ash on it as well. But yeah, I think I found my problem. Just went for a swim and now we can smell really strong bushfire smoke. We're not sure if it's a good spot to camp because it's like really dry on this side. The other side's already caught on fire. So I'm just gonna put the drone up and see if we can see if there's bushfire. And also, I'd like to know if we have like an escape route, maybe on the other side of these rocks, if it's like it's clear of brush or whatever, so if there's something does happen in the night, we can kind of just drive up there.
It's very hazy down there,
Yeah,
and you can really smell smoke.
Smells like... So we put the drone up, can't see any visible fires. I think it's just the smoke that's lingering, and then the wind keeps moving back and forth and making it smell much stronger than it probably is. Anxiously, we'll probably stay here tonight.
We're just gonna, set alarm every 2 hours and watch out the window if we see flames.
So this is a little tradition we're doing every single night now as a bit of remembrance for my mom. She really wanted us to go on this trip. She was devastated when we had to come back so many times. So it's really nice that we can kind of take her everywhere now on the trip with us. It's the morning now. There was no fires. I think we were just super paranoid because you can just smell smoke in the air all the time. The reason we got up so early this morning is twofold. First of all, the van gets so hot when we drive during the day. When it's 35 degrees in the middle of the day, we don't have any aircon and we are sitting on top of the engine. It is just sweltering and we just turn into massive sweat bombs. The whole seat gets wet. So once we head down south, that should get a little bit better. The second reason, and probably the main reason, is we are heading through a pretty I'd say dodgy town today. It's called Temuku. It's known to be a little bit, how do I say, not so safe with conflict, and we've heard it's quite dangerous and you just want to drive straight through it, and definitely don't drive through it at night. It's about 200 k's there. We're going to drive straight through and we're going to get to the nicest place I think I've seen on pictures in a long time. It's called Pucón. There is volcanoes and lakes everywhere. So let's take you with us. Actually, before we start going, I'm doing a daily test and basically a pre-start on the van to make sure all the fluids and everything are good, because this van has caused us quite a bit of trouble and it is an old van. I'm just making sure, you know, all our oils, our fluids are all still topped up, and I'm also doing a check on the radiator to make sure the voltage current that's running through the coolant is still below 0.3 volts, because I'm pretty sure that's what caused our last radiator that only lasted 3 weeks to eat itself. It blows my mind that that could happen, so we're a little bit nervous that that still could happen, but we've basically made every precaution to stop that. So that is still a good result. Anything under 0.3 volts apparently is fairly safe, but let's just hope and pray that that does not happen again, because that will absolutely be a trip ruiner, and I don't think we have a plan B after that.
Crying from happiness, because look at this view and how far we've come.
That's a volcano.
And this beautiful lake. And it's just so unreal.
How much work and effort has gone into just getting here?
Yeah.
And stress.
Yeah.
Still very stressed though.
Yeah.
Still not sure what's going to happen with the van, but
And if we'll make it to Patagonia.
at least we made it here.
Yeah.
Every step is a win. So we just spent our first night in pretty much the biggest tourist town we've been to so far, Biarica, and there's just like volcanoes everywhere. We've been working on the van engine. I've been replacing the coolant, trying to make sure we don't destroy another radiator, and we've been bending over and our backs are just absolutely stuffed. So time for some yoga, I think.
Come on, Marcy, you can do it.
1001, 1002, 1003. Oh, I didn't see you there. Hey, how you doing? So one of the biggest issues we find when living and traveling full-time in a van is time to do exercise. When you're sitting and driving for so long, especially in these old style vans, you get like really sore backs, especially us. We don't have the greatest backs, and finding time to do stretches and exercises and fitness is just so hard, because you're not in control of your environment a lot of the time. You're stopping in places you don't know where you can do exercise, or if it's raining or windy, or if it's just like blistering hot. It's just so much harder than when you're living in a house or something to like do regular exercise. So whenever we can, we find a place, set the mats out and just start doing some stretches. The one thing we're going to try and do, 100 push-ups every single day, just to keep a little bit of strength going.
100 squats for Wendy.
See how long we can do it for. It's just really hard to maintain that physical fitness when you're on the road, but you really got to try, otherwise you will get very sore very quickly, lose a lot of mass, especially with the driving. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video where we meet new friends, discover the real Patagonia. It's snowing, it's February, and run into more problems along the way. Don't know if we're getting a fine or not.